Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Everquest Old School. And on this episode, we are over in Unrest today. And we basically are in the room that they're referring to as the main room. For those of you who may be unfamiliar with this zone, when you come into it and you go down the little pathway from the zone entrance, you'll eventually reach kind of like a graveyard little area where there's some little beetles running around back and forth. And you can do a little bit of soloing there. You'll see a cobblestone path that leads straight to the main house. And when you come into the main house, you'll be able to turn left or right because there's a big wall right in front of you. That big wall that's right in front of you is that wall right there behind Goosh or Madar right now. So when you come into the main house, you'll want to take a right and go down right to where it splits. It splits up. If you look right in front of us, there's a hallway, a little doorway right there. If you take that right and go like 2 inches and take a left, you'll see another hallway. And this doorway right here is basically right around that corner. So you got the main wall to our right, which is right in front of the doorway. And so you can kind of see that this is just right around the corner from the main doorway. So you're not really getting too far into the house. You're not on like the top floor. You're not going really down into the basement or anything like that. You were literally just walking straight into the house, going around one wall, and poof, you're right here into the main room. And the problem with the main room, from what I've heard, I haven't seen it yet today. Usually you'll see a lot of this, unfortunately, though, is trains, because you are in the direct path of people who are in this place trying to get out to the zone. And so you will have to worry about if there is a train, your group will be the one that takes the hits. Now, in other zones, you'll have this issue with certain camps, but most people would prefer, and they usually try, to find a room off to the side of the main path out of the zone. And so they will sit in there, and they may pull that main room to them, but they usually won't sit in it. And that's just for reasons of safety, just in case there is a bad train that comes out. And some zones have more of a renown that's or a tradition, basically, almost to the point of being a tradition of trains. This is one of them. Cornor's Castle is another one, and Crushbone used to be one of them, but somebody was telling me the other day, or not telling me, I think I was watching a video on YouTube, and somebody was talking about it, and they were saying they thought that the spawn rate in these zones had been lowered to make it easier for people to hunt there without getting so many trains. And I thought about that for a second, and I'm like, I don't think that's the case. I don't remember these creatures spawning faster. If anything, I remember them spawning slower. I remember killing an area and having to wait quite a long time for repop, which means you get to go off and explore, and then by the time you're ready to kill that room again, it's respawning. So it was something that you could time and you could get used to it, and if you weren't paying attention, well, yeah, you could let it overwhelm you, but I don't remember them spawning faster, so I'm not quite sure if that's true or not. What I think the case is that most people who are playing this played the game when it first came out, and therefore they're coming back for nostalgia reasons, or because they have very fond memories of the game and they're looking for something a little bit more challenging than the games that are out there now. And because of that, they're very familiar with how a zone works. Even if they're not familiar with the zone in particular, they know how trains work, they know how creatures work, they know to be careful with pathing and pathing, however you want to pronounce it. So I think you get a lot less trains simply for that reason. Also, when the game first came out, you had people of all different ages playing the game. And now, from what I've gathered from talking to people and just learning a little bit about them, the average age of people playing the game right now that I've met is around 30. So people usually, as they get older, will become a little bit more cautious. They don't have a lot of time on their hands a lot of the time. As a kid, you go to school, you may go to work, but you don't have a family as far as like kids go. I mean, you have a family, obviously, but you don't have kids, and you don't usually have a serious girlfriend. I mean, you may have a girlfriend, but it's not like you're going to get married for the most part. Some of them, some kids will obviously, but not all of them. And for that reason, you have a little bit less distraction in your life, and not in a bad way. Obviously, kids are not a bad thing. Either is a wife, but you do understand that having either one of them will take up a lot of your time, and so the people who play the game, who do have kids or are married, don't waste their time. They don't do foolish things that may cost them to either die and lose experience, or in the end, kill other people, which will give them a bad rap. I mean, at that point in your life, you realize that, that's going to come back to haunt you eventually if you do stupid things like that. Because people who don't want to group with other people who have been stupid in the past, if you constantly train other people in a zone, they're going to remember what your name is. And when you show up in a group, they're either going to give you a stern talking to, and you either will have to apologize for all the stupid stuff that you've done, and then change your ways, or they're not going to want to group with you at all. They're going to be like, I'm not grouping with this guy. Sorry, guys. He's killed me like 15 times. And they're saying it to your face. It's not like they're going to just say it behind your back and be sending tells back and forth to each other. No, they're telling you right there in group chat that, hey, this guy's a jerk. I'm not grouping with him. I'm out of here. And the group will either decide whether to keep you, the jerk, almost, right? Or keep the people who are already in the group. And it depends. If you've ticked off just one person, they may let him leave and keep you, depending on how much they need your class at that moment. But if you ticked off, 2 or even 3 people, chances are you're going to be the one who's kicked out and not them. And you're not going to be able to find a group from then on. So it really sucks to create a bad name for yourself. And for that reason, a lot of people, especially if you're not young and you don't realize at that age that, a lot of your actions have consequences further down the road. You're just looking for the little enjoyment for the moment, you're causing all these trains. You're like, oh, ha, ha, it's funny, look at all these people, these suckers, right? They're all getting upset and stuff, and then that's it. You're done. You got your enjoyment for the day, and you log off. Well, if you ever get big into the game and you actually really want to level up to start looking at new content and things of that sort, that's when those actions come back to you. And not a lot of young people would do that. I know from what I've watched and from when I've talked to other people, kids who played the game in the past never really got past a certain level. Level 15, level 25, somewhere around there is the max that they ever got to. And it's a combination of things. They just didn't have the time. They didn't have access to a computer all the time. Maybe it was the account was their dad's or their mother's or their brother's, and they played off of that. And usually if you were playing off of a friend's account, a brother's account, they were playing that account a lot. Because, EverQuest is not one of those things you do, in piecemeal. You do a whole lot of EverQuest because you want to level up. It gets addicting. At the very beginning of the game, you level up pretty quickly, and you guys have watched that on my characters. You've seen anybody want a silver ring. Mine is charisma. Yeah, I'll take it. Kind of nice. +1 wisdom. Charisma only affects you when you're selling or buying items, so you just make sure you take it off when that happens. Most people will have a full charisma suit anyways that they can put on when they go to town to sell, when they go to town to buy. You'll get like the Steena McGuck and things of that sort that you can put in your weapon slots, and you'll get pieces of armor that add charisma and rings that add charisma. It's a full suit. Sweet. I gotta give him a shout out here for giving me a ring. It's the first one I got so far. And you'll see that it goes down by 1 for charisma, but remember, for every 1 wisdom you get, you're getting an extra 10 power. See, if I take that off, 421, 424, so I'm only getting 3. And I'm thinking maybe that's because of my level. Or maybe they changed the way the wisdom works. I'm not sure on that one. But either way, it's more wisdom, which means more power. And how about bronze boots? Bronze boots. Let's see. How do I do that? Warrior, Cleric, High Elf, they sure can. Yeah, it says right there, High Elf. Let's see, put those on. Sweet. That's nice of them just to give out stuff like that. I mean, I've seen a lot of really nice people on the server, but when somebody does that, it's really cool. Sorry. Sorry about that, guys. I had to cough. Yeah. So yeah, this is my first tune since being back. You know, if you guys watch my videos, you guys know that I have a Paladin as well as a Necro that I play off and on. But this will be my main character. This will be the one that I spend all my time playing as much as possible because I just like Cleric so much. They get into a lot of groups that other people don't normally get into as easy because you know you have to have a healer in your group. You have to have a tank, and beyond that, all the other classes are pretty much negotiable. But you gotta have those healers, and there usually isn't a lot of healers. I mean, a lot of people, for whatever reason, you guys will have to let me know what your opinion is on this. This is my highest as well. Used to have a human ranger back in the day. Let's see. Oh, we got some creatures incoming here. Let me go ahead and stand up. Door. I think maybe that's the Paladin chick. Toss a heal on him. Just to make sure he's okay. Used to have a human ranger. Yeah, I've seen people really pick on rangers a lot. I'm not quite sure why. I mean, any clarity floating around. Wow. Holy crap. Sweet. Holy man. Wow. Wow, thank you. Let's see what we got here. Small van bracers, we can wear that. Let's see, we got a better helmet. Let's see. Gloves. And I'll go ahead and show you the stats here after I put them all on. I just don't want them to think I'm not going to wear it. Let's see. Small bracers. Ivory bracelet. Let's put that on here. Small bronze boots. Small bronze pants. I got small ringmails, so let's look at that. That one's 7 AC, and this one is 10. Here we go. Oh, wow, look at this guy. That is cool. It's not too bad. People complain about them being hybrid and stealing group experience, but if you truly understand how experience is distributed in groups, it's not bad. I soloed mostly, had him to 50, quit after planes. Rangers became awesome later in the game. Yeah, I stopped after planes as well. Yeah, a lot of people quit the game when Planes came out, or shortly thereafter. That was also around the time EverQuest 2 came out, and it was just it was a different kind of play game or play style. They were making it more basically easier for more people and not as challenging. And a lot of people will come back to that challenge. Like an easy game is something you can pick up, you can play, and you enjoy it for a time. But for a game that's going to be lasting you years, you need that challenge. Otherwise, there's just nothing to keep you coming back to it, other than maybe the friendships you make. Let's see, am I? No, I'm not the leader. So let's see, what do we got here? We got small bronze gloves, platinum fire earrings, wedding rings. Not me. Not I. Let's see, what else do we got? Did she give us those? I don't think she gave us those. She gave us van bracers. Nice. Breastplate's gonna be really nice. 17 AC. Holy crap. Let's see, helmet 10 AC. That's nice. Bracer 7 AC. And pants, which we already looked at, which were another 10 AC versus I think the 7 that we were getting before. Wow, that is definitely going to make it where we can hit. And I was just mentioning on my last video that I needed to upgrade my armor a little bit and get some better stuff. I had no idea that she was just going to give me all of this. So definitely a shout out. I wish I could pronounce her name, Cor. However you want that pronounced. Definitely a big thanks for that. Definitely will go to a good home, and I'll use it as much as possible. And then when I'm done with it, I'll make sure to pass it on to somebody else who can use it just as much, or maybe even better, more than what I can use. So if you guys are just starting out a new character, maybe go ahead and send me a tell and a little message down in the comments below. By the time you guys send it off, I may not be using this anymore. Who knows? Using flash or light for aggro. Sorry about that. I'm not using anything for aggro right now. Warding undead first, then flash if that doesn't hold, and then taunt. So I tried flash one time. I thought what it was doing was making them go blind and not be able to see, but I guess maybe it's a pretty big aggro spell. So flash is your highest aggro ability. So that's very good to know, because I do have a Paladin, and so that will come in handy there. I'll make it my first slot then. You can hear all these things in the background. Full mana, guys. Even resist it does a lot. Or does a ton. Let's see. Loot this Death Beetle. Pristine Giant Scarab Caprice. Pretty much the only spell a Paladin needs. Wow. That's saying a lot, because the Paladins have a lot of useful spells. You know, they may not be the greatest poolers out there because they don't have a lot of direct damage spells. And they don't have a snare, which definitely helps on pools. And they don't have Fatigue Death. And, you know, I could go on and on about the stuff that they don't have. But they have some really nice stuff. They got Lay of Hands, Beats Buying, Clickies. I don't know what he means by that. They got Lay of Hands, they got heals, they got cures, they got resist spells, buffs. You know, they're really, really nice to have if you got another healer that's not a cleric, because they can kind of fill in for the cleric a little. The buffs that a druid has will stack with cleric buffs. So if you have a druid or a shaman in your group as your healer, and then you have a paladin come in, paladin can still buff up. His buffs won't be equal to the cleric's, because the cleric gets higher level buffs at a lower level than the Paladin will. I believe the Paladin will be like 20 levels behind what the current healer of that level, or current cleric of that level, would be able to have access to. But still, 20 level behind isn't better than nothing at all, especially if you already have a healer's buffs like a druid or a shaman. These are basically just extras, and they do make a difference. They do actually add stuff on. And yes, that's much better. It was very nice of them to give me that stuff, though. I'm still blown away by how nice everyone truly is on this server. It's great. I mean, this is the way it should be. You know, it shouldn't be, you know, so flabbergasted by the fact that everybody's so nice, but having played MMOs for a very long time, this is the way it was when I first started playing EverQuest back in the day. And then you start playing like Dark Ages of Camelot and WoW. WoW definitely was one of those ones that lowered the standard of how people act on a game like this. You know, I hear my parents and older people when I was growing up say this stuff about people going on airlines. You know, it used to be that if you were going on a plane ride, you would dress up in a suit, and it was like a big deal, right? It was like going out on the town, and people acted their best. And they, what's a good weapon to buy for a paladin? Starting in my 20s, I'm currently using, that one's not too bad, and Goldblane doesn't start proccing into 30, so I think that one's still pretty good. But they used to talk about how you would dress up and things of that sort. And when EverQuest first came out, it was kind of the same way. I mean, we, as a community, went above and beyond to be as nice as possible because it was like this new thing. And we realized that the nicer everybody was, the better it was an experience for everybody as well. And then they started making games a little bit easier and a little bit easier, a little bit easier, and then eventually you had like 4-year-olds playing. And then 4-year-olds don't weigh consequences the way that an older person weighs them. They don't see that, oh, by me training people and just laughing about it because I thought it was funny that everybody just fell over dead, they don't see that as a negative thing. And so it kind of ruins the experience for everybody else who's kind of actually taking it a little serious and wanting to do something with their time on the game that's productive and part of a community. So, you know, the lower the age limit went, or the lower the age requirement to play the game because it was so easy went, just the overall community kind of seemed to go down as well. And I'm not saying that, you know, kids can't be mature, because some of them are incredibly mature and some adults are incredibly immature. So it can go both ways. It just seems like, on average, that if you make it a kid game, you're not going to have the same playstyle, obviously, as a community like this. This is my first character, so I'm on a tight budget. Oh no, Heroic Bond is gone. But yeah, I mean, it blows me away, though, that on this server, everybody's so incredibly nice, and they're willing to give without asking anything in return. And they're just doing it because either somebody did it for them or because they're just nice people. And I don't know, it really makes the gameplay and your experience on it, you know, just amazing, and just amazing people to be around. So I'm definitely happy to be here, guys. And if you guys want to play with me at any time, you're more than welcome to. I know Brendan has asked to group with me, and I'm more than happy to do that. He's not on right now, otherwise that's probably where I will be. He has a character he wants to group with. I think he said it was a rogue that he wants to group with my paladin. So we'll probably be doing some of those videos here pretty soon. And he has his own channel. So as soon as we have, you know, figured out a time and a date to when to actually meet up and we're both on at the same time, we'll definitely start doing some videos. And I think we're going to use Skype to go ahead and talk as well. So we'll do some back and forth like that. If you guys are looking forward to me doing more, you know, cooperative gameplays with other people, especially when it comes to using voice, let me know if you guys like that. I did a few on EverQuest 2 with Kevin, and I think they turned out pretty good, but I'll let you guys decide that, if you guys like that more often, or do you guys just want me to see do more solo stuff. You know, whatever you guys want is what I'll give you. I've got one on me. Zoom out back a little bit. Too close. And we're going to go ahead and stop this video here, guys. Again, I want to thank you for watching. If you like these, please hit the like button, subscribe. Definitely help grow my channel, and I greatly appreciate it. Also, if you want to leave any comments down below, you're more than welcome to do so. And I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video.